Is synthetic braiding hair bad for your natural hair? Because I've been seeing a few videos explaining why some people have left it behind altogether. And honestly, wait, I'm gonna get into it, but first let's talk about the hair that I'm gonna be using. So this hair is from Ywigs. It's their 24-inch Spanish curl bulk human braiding hair, and it was very soft. It had minimal shedding, and look how thick the bundles are. That is definitely something that I look for in bundles, because you know sometimes they'd be like, oh, quote unquote, full from root to tip, and then once you get to separating it like this and pulling the extra shorter hairs out, it be shedding, and I hate that when it comes to bundles. So this had very minimal shedding, which I really appreciated, and I was able to fill up my rack all the way. The rack that I'm using is from Joann's Fabrics, and I painted it pink, but it's about $25 or so, and it's pretty large, so it fit about half of one bundle on it. Moving on to the style. This is my model Asia, and you can see that she has very thick, gorgeous, natural hair, and I thought that she would be the perfect candidate for this style. To prep her hair, I went in with the unbrushed brush. Now, y'all have heard of this brush, right? I actually really like it. It's like a hollowed out brush, and it's supposed to detangle your hair really good, which it did. And then I went in with my blow dryer and comb attachment to make sure that her hair was stretched for this style. Moving on to how I'm installing this hair. So I'm starting off with the traditional knotless braid, and I'm splitting my piece into 3 even sections and crossing over twice before I then go in and add in curly hair. Because I'm not using any synthetic hair, when adding in these pieces, one side is going to be extremely longer than the other, and the shorter side is going to be those straight pieces of the hair that you saw when I was prepping it. I'm going to be adding in 3 curly pieces to match the number of pieces that my braid has. So you want to make sure that each leg of your braid has a piece of curly hair, and that's going to create the base of your braid instead of using the synthetic hair. After I added in those 3 pieces, I braid down a little bit, and from this point here, all of the curly pieces that I'm adding are going to be left out of the braid. So I'm going to braid down and pull out those extra curly pieces that I'm adding. I'm pulling out about 5 to 6 pieces, and the more pieces you leave out, the fuller your style is going to be with the curly hair, and the less pieces that you leave out, the more braids that are going to show through. I usually ask my client, what kind of look are you going for? Do you want more curly hair, less curly hair? And then that just depends on how many pieces I'm going to leave out. If you're noticing that you want your braids to be a little bit thicker, you can add in more curly pieces to the base of your braid to thicken it up. When braiding down, you might notice these little straight pieces sticking up. That is the shorter end of the curly pieces that you added, and it is not your client's hair. So I just like to go in and snip those off either towards the end or after I'm finished with that braid. So my girl has super long natural hair, so her hair kind of ended where the braid ended, and I'm going to show you towards the end how I finish off these braids so that they don't unravel. But you can see that now I have 1, 2, 3 pieces of curly hair left out. I'm going to add a 4th one here, but my main rule of thumb here is to just make sure that there's not too much space in between each curly piece. Like, I don't want it to be curl, braid, braid, curl. You want it to be curl, braid, curl, braid, curl, braid. You feel me? When I get down to the end, I compare the braid that I'm braiding to the other braids around it to make sure that they're all approximately the same length. And then to finish these off, I went ahead and pulled a really small piece and tied a knot around itself, and then used a small dot of super glue, crazy glue, gorilla glue, nail glue. You can use either of those to the end to just hold it in place. Okay, y'all, let's talk the tea now that we've got the tutorial out of the way, because I watched a video about a lady explaining why synthetic braiding hair is bad for natural hair or just hair in general because of the chemicals that are coated on the braiding hair. So if you didn't know, synthetic braiding hair is mostly made of kanekalon hair, which is not actual hair. It's actually like a plastic kind of fiber that they make to imitate hair. So a lot of people are allergic to the chemicals that are on top of this hair, and that makes their scalps itch and people have an allergic reaction to it. So people are noticing and taking action and just dropping using braiding hair altogether. Styles like this, where it's 100% human hair, are becoming a lot more popular, and honestly, I'm kind of here for it because I'm personally not a person that is allergic to kanekalon hair, which is why I'll still use it sometimes. But for the people who are, I think that this is a good alternative to using synthetic hair if it makes your scalp itchy. So that way you can still do these popular styles. Look at my cat, you see him? But also, this might or might not be reasonable for some people, because we know that bulk human hair or bundles in general cost way more than the pack of braiding hair at the beauty supply store. So this might or might not be reasonable for a lot of people. And my solution to that is to dip or rinse your synthetic braiding hair in apple cider vinegar and thoroughly soak it to try to get as much of the chemicals off the hair as you can, if you're somebody that is allergic to the braiding hair. Because as I know, this style in total used all 4 bundles, which ran a pretty penny. Okay, this video is sponsored by Ywigs, so I did not pay that much. But if you're somebody who is looking for a more budget-friendly way to not be allergic to braiding hair, an apple cider vinegar rinse is something that I totally recommend. You do this by mixing 1 part apple cider vinegar and 2 parts water together. Don't use just straight apple cider vinegar. But if you're someone who still wants to use the synthetic hair, definitely try out the rinse and let me know down in the comments if it works, or if you've tried it before and how that works for you. Or if you're someone who wants to try these 100% human hair braids, I definitely loved it. I would say in total it did take just a smidgen longer than normal, but because I still use the same technique, the hair was just installed slightly different. This style did take about 10 hours to do, which is a long time, but the product was super cute and I'm going to show you guys at the end. And my girl, still 1 week later, her hair is still looking good. And we did a wash day, which you guys will be seeing coming up really soon. And the wash day was super easy because it was all human hair. So we were able to wash, condition, detangle like a breeze. Also, I want to know how many of you guys are actually allergic to braiding hair, because like I mentioned earlier, it's some people that are affected, but not everybody. Like me personally, my head might start to itch once my hair gets dry, but my scalp doesn't have that reaction to synthetic hair. But I know for a lot of people it does. So let me know down below in the comments, are you allergic to synthetic braiding hair? Let me know. And this was the finished product. Look how cute and full these braids looked. Honestly, these surpassed my expectations. I did not think it was gonna be this full, this cute. I did use all 4 bundles, and this is the final look. If you guys loved this video, do not forget to give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button for more braiding tutorials just like this one. If you guys wanna see the cutest color combo in these boho braids, check out this video right here.